So as everybody knows, my daughter's my pride and joy. And this year, unfortunately, you guys, she's getting older now. We're going to be doing some fishing and stuff, and I won't have my camera or phone. She's turned into a young lady right now. And so not all the time will I be having my camera with me or my phone with me, because I need to spend some quality time with her. She's getting older now, and we're having talks, and we're just having some quality time together. So don't get mad at me for that. But what I wanted to get into is a lot of what's been going on lately. And I'm guilty of this, but I was really upset with a friend of mine. I had a guy come to me, needed some help, and we helped him out. Brains helped him out, a couple other people helped him out. And we have a lot of people come to us a lot of times for the different groups I'm in, for the different things I do, for the people I know, and they're wanting help. Well, I'm looking to see if they're wanting help or if they're wanting charity. If they're wanting help or if they want to take advantage of somebody, okay? Now, don't get me wrong. I believe that God puts people in your path for a reason all the time. However, you got to understand that you can't help everybody. And a lot of times, there are people out there that will try their best to take advantage of you, no matter how much you want to help them. And the whole idea is you have to get through that. Now, we just had a guy, and I still really want to help him. But the problem is, he's coming up with every excuse. You know, he's got the addict's mindset. He's gonna go and hide behind everybody he can, because the people that want to truly help him are the ones that are going to be the hardest on him. And I don't mean hard as in, I mean hard as in we're just reminding him about different things that are going on. And I feel bad that we've got to do that, but he's got a pattern. You know, believe it or not, in the world of addiction and depression and PTSD, there's patterns. And those patterns lead to trying to figure out what the person needs. Now, we're just human. We're not always going to get it right. Okay? And not everybody's going to need religion or charity. And some people really do need helps. But there are a few people out there, they don't need help. They need to be punched in the face. Because they use PTSD and depression to squander money out of people, to get money out of them, okay? And they go their whole life, oh my God, they use their family and their friends, and they get money. And the thing about it is, you go back and you see this trail of everybody they owe money, but they themselves have never paid them back. My friend's not like that, by the way. I was just thinking of somebody else. There's people out there like that. You got to be very, very careful. So what I like to do, even with my Legal Shield stuff, what I try to do myself is, if somebody really needs money or they really need help, I give them a job. I give them something to do to get that money. And we can all do that. Maybe you need your yard mowed. Maybe you need something raked. Maybe you need something. If somebody needs something that bad and that quick, they're willing to do what it takes to get it. Now, I'm never going to embarrass anybody in public, with having them do something that I myself am not willing to do. But every once in a while, an older person needs something. The veterans home needs help. Stuff like that. But the problem is, these people, they don't want to go get help. And I don't mean the mental help. I'm talking about they don't want to go work to get the money. Those people, you got to get out of your life immediately, okay? Now, there's people with addictions. Those are a little different. It means they're doing their best. They cannot control themselves going into a bar. They can drink 4 beers. The 5th one turns them into an animal. The 5th beer will turn them into anything else. They now no longer care about family, friends. They don't care about their kids. As long as they can get that next couple shots in, they can keep drinking. And the reason why we have to watch out for that is because when we're sitting there dealing with addictions, okay, when we're dealing with it, like my grandpa, let me give you a backstory. My grandpa and grandma used to smoke, okay? And one day my grandpa decided to go cold turkey and never smoked again. Neither did my grandma. Okay, my mom and dad never smoked. Now, that's great, but it's very hard for people to go cold turkey on stuff. People get around it, and they get around the other people, and they enjoy getting around those other people that pull them down, because all of a sudden they seem like the hero to the people that have the depression, when actually they're just as bad off as the other people are. So when they get around each other, that's why I always say, go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. You're being tolerated because you're buying beer. You're being tolerated because you're drinking with the guy next to you who's got problems also. Everybody lives in misery. The misery world, they go out together. The people you see going out 7 days a week, literally, are the ones that are going to have the drama. They're the ones that are taking different men or women home. They're the ones that are having all these problems, okay? But this is the problem. When you try to pull them out of that, all those other people are pulling them back. pulling them back. It's like that rubber glue. You're trying to pull them away from that, but man, snaps right back. And then, you know, it's kind of funny because you can give them jobs and they're going to lose those jobs every time. You can give them responsibility and they're not going to follow through. Why? Because their addiction outweighs the reason to not do what it is they're doing. Kids are not a reason, because guess what? You know how many people I see that do addictions right in front of their kids? It's terrible. What you got to do is you got to be loving them. You got to be kind, okay? You got to tell them what matters most. I try to play around and try to find out what's going to have the most effect on somebody in order to get them to change, or at least taking the first step to change the problem they're in, okay? I don't tell people you need to stop drinking altogether. I don't, but I do try to figure out, instead of doing four beers a night, do 3. Next night, do 2. Next night, do 1. Kind of like how I do Casey's Pizza lately. I got through the month of January without eating any Casey's Pizza, without eating any pizza. You know what I did? Every time I went to Casey's, I didn't go in. I got, you know, I just said, you know what? I can do it tomorrow. I'm fine today. So I didn't try to go for the long-term effect. I said, today, I'm not going to do it. Now, why is this? Years ago, I did drink. Okay, I've never smoked or anything like that, but I did drink. And I know what alcohol does to people. I watched what alcohol do to people. It's a big sociological experiment, I swear up and down I had. Now, granted, I was always on the other side of the bar, but I always watched what alcohol would do to people and what people would say and what people. And it was just like this major addiction. You don't even see the addiction when you live in that world. And drugs, meth, heroin, these pain pills, all these things, codeine, you know, stuff like that. These all have addictive properties, which makes you rely upon them. Alcohol's the same way. Now, I don't care if people drink. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is when they drink so much that they black out. When they have to have a drink morning, noon, or night. When they got to go to those gambling machines morning, noon, and night. You're right. We can take them away and they won't see them and they're going to be fine. But that's not the answer either. The answer is we're not helping people. We're just hiding stuff from them. You got to get to the root of the problem. And I'm not going to tell you how to get to the root of the problem because I don't know. But I can tell you this, when they start finding out what the root of that problem is and why it is they're doing what they're doing, then they can get help. Each one of us is responsible for being kind and caring for people. We don't give up on them. We have to walk away from them, but we don't give up on them. Walking away is helping them in some cases. Some of us are feeding other people's, you know, we're feeding them their addiction to them because, oh, well, they don't mean it. You know, we give them every excuse in the world. Can't do the tough love either. If you do tough love, you lose them as a friend because now you're trying to be, and me, I'm the first one to admit, I give tough love sometimes. And sometimes I can go completely at people. Okay? But the whole point is we must be kind and understanding of people. I can't tell somebody what to say or do. I can tell you this. I can tell somebody, if I tell them they matter every single day and they hear that every single day, one day they're going to be out there. They're going to get ready to drink that final beer. And all of a sudden in the back of their head, they're going to be like, you know, he told me every day. Muscle memory. Wait a minute. I matter. I am important. You know what? I don't want this beer right now. And they put it down. Some others might get in a fight. And they might be, all of a sudden, they're like, you know what? I can turn and walk away because I matter. You ask me every day why I get motivated. You ask me every day why I talk to people, and I try to get through to people's minds to let them know that they're important. This is the reason, because one day they're going to stand back. I may never have an impact on anybody. I don't know. I don't care. But one day, I'm hoping maybe somebody will be like, you know what? I'm better than my addiction. One day they're going to look at their kids and be like, you know what? Jeff was right. If I do it for my kids, maybe I can make it out of this. We're all broken. That's what we must understand. We're all hurting in some way, shape, or form. We're all broken in some way, shape, or form. We are not. We were never born. We're born with sin. We're born imperfect, you know. But we're human. And to mess up is part of life. To fail is part of life. And it's great because the more we fail, the more we enjoy success. The more we fail, the more we enjoy the smaller accomplishments. I mean, you can go and think you're going to jump the Grand Canyon on a dirt bike, but you ain't going to do it. I'm sorry. You're just not going to do it. And if you fail, you're going to kill yourself. Well, you don't have to worry about it no more. But if you take small leaps and bounds to get what you want, eventually you'll learn that if you have a big enough ramp, and time again, eventually you can be an Evel Knievel and you can jump the Grand Canyon. But you got to learn how to do it first. There's no mission impossible. There's nothing we can't do. You know, just because we haven't found cures for things yet doesn't mean we're not going to, as long as we keep moving. You got to do one little thing at a time. Remember, you can't just automatically find it. There's no, you know, I mean, one day we're going to find a cure for the common cold. My God, can you imagine that? A cure for the common cold one day. One day we're going to learn through hard work and effort that people matter. And each and every one of you matters. And that's what I want you to know tonight, okay? Anyway, have a great night, everybody. Each and every one of you matters. Each and every one of you makes a difference. And even if it's just me being annoying in the back of your head one day, I hope maybe I can make a difference in your life by telling you you matter. I have messed up more than anybody. I have made more mistakes than you can imagine. But I get back up. And I've always gotten back up. There have been times that I have had to have my friends and family pull me back up. And there's other times where I had to let friends and family go because they were nothing but a negativity on me. They did nothing but push me down. So I get around those that build me up. I get around those that celebrate me, and I celebrate them. And I continue. What's nice, though, is sometimes I can go off on my own and help people that normally wouldn't need help. Be great today. Know you matter. If you have to, God's always in your corner, whether or not you ask it or not. He's in your corner. He's not going to do anything negative to you. Okay? I know you're going to hear all these religious buff preach religion, but here's what it really matters down to. You've got somebody higher above you that's going to be there for you. Just because you can't see, hear it, the faith inside of you will grow. We all question it. We all doubt it. Sometimes we all spit on it, we throw it around. But sometimes, if you hear my voice, remember, it's not me that put it in your head. Muscle memory may have put it in your head. But my faith has been in God. You know what? I can't see him, but I can feel him. And when I've been at my worst, I promise he's been there. And he put me there for a reason, because so I could see how to be even better. I had to be worse than what I was. You're not at rock bottom. Rock bottom only means you have a platform to launch. That's all rock bottom means, whether it's a motivational speech or anything else. When you hit rock bottom, that's perfect, because now you can boost off. You got a platform. You actually feel something. It's when you're falling and you can't grab onto anything is what's scary. But you're at a rock bottom and like, man, I got nowhere to go. Good, you can't go down no more because you're already there at the bottom. Only place left to go is up. Or at least stand up on your own 2 feet and start climbing. It's not supposed to be easy. But get around the right people and it will be a lot easier. Each one of you matter. Each one of you make a difference. I'm Jeffrey Jansen. I hope and pray each and every one of you know how great you are. Because you are. Have a good night, everybody. I'll talk to everybody soon. Bye now.